Welcome back. In this video, we'll walk through NocoDB's Table Sync feature, a simple way to maintain a read-only copy of a table across different bases. For this demonstration, we'll use an employees table. Our goal is to fetch its data into a table in a separate base, where it will stay in sync as a read-only copy. To begin, we need to share the view where the data is stored. Let's enable sharing for this view and then allow sync. Allowing sync lets other bases copy data from this view. Once that's done, we copy the URL and move to the base where we want the data to appear. We'll select Create New Sync, then choose NocoDB Sync. From here, we can give the table a name. Let's call it Employee Info. There are two ways to set the source. The first is to use the URL we just copied. The system will validate the link and confirm whether it's valid, and we can continue from there. Next, we select the fields we need and move on. The second method is to choose the base directly. We select the base, then the table, and finally the view. If the view isn't enabled, as with the partial view shown here, we'll need to enable and share it first. Enabling sync also turns on public sharing for that view automatically. Now we enable sync and select only the fields we want, skipping any we don't need. At this point, we choose how the table syncs. There are two options, automatic or manual. With manual sync, we click Sync Now to pull data from the source whenever we choose. With automatic sync, the data updates on a regular schedule. We can also decide what happens when a record is deleted in the source. Should it be deleted here as well, or should it remain? In this case, we'll keep the record and set the table to automatic sync. Now, let's create the sync table. The sync table has been created in our base, and we can see that 12 records were added. Hovering over the info icon shows when the last sync occurred. Keep in mind that this data is read-only, so it can't be edited directly. That's the core of how the sync feature works. Within the sync table, every field synced from the source displays an icon beside it, as shown here. We can also add new fields when needed. Any new fields we create remain separate and independent within this table. One important note, we cannot add new records to this table. Like any other view, we can use the toolbar options. We can hide a field, filter the data, group, sort, and use all other available actions. If we'd like to run a sync right away, the Sync Now option pulls in any new changes from the source view. We can also update the sync settings directly from here. This opens a modal where we can modify field settings or switch between automatic and manual sync. Any of these settings can be changed at any time. Finally, let's look at a live sync example. We'll return to the source table and select a record. Here, we'll update the department field, changing Isha's department to marketing. Now we go back to the sync table. With automatic sync enabled, the change will appear within 5 seconds. If sync were set to manual, we could trigger it from the menu here instead. That's how table sync works in NocoDB, a simple way to keep read-only copies of your data in sync across bases. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more NocoDB tutorials. See you in the next one.